This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
You know, they did me wrong. They did me dirty. They made me drink. But I'm not a baby. I'm not a kid.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
You know, you can be pretty sure that the decision that you made was the right one. God kind of paved the way for what was supposed to happen, I feel.
It is the 2nd of September. The year is still 2021. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marnie Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Hi, Marnie.
Hi, Corey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
So we're going to get into and get deep into a series that I was drug into watching. Not drug as in substance, but pulled in a force in a direction that was not my choosing. Men who watch Dancing with the Stars, they know what I'm talking about. Like my stepfather, he has to watch Dancing with the Stars and other shows that he probably doesn't care about. I suffer that same fate.
Really? That's how you feel about it?
That's the only downfall of being married. But you know what? There's so many upgrades in my life that, all right.
It's worth it?
Yeah, because then I can do other stuff too. I think as long as I'm in the room halfway participating, then I get points, like husband points, right?
Okay. No, I'm with you.
Because if I was like, oh, I'm just going to, here, you watch your thing, you do your thing, I'm going to go in the office and do whatever. That's when I look over and you're in bed already and you say you're not mad. But then I'm like, honey, sorry, I just got caught up. And you're like, yeah, all right. And then you like roll over. And nights in bed just aren't the same on those nights, you know? But I'm learning.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about what this is, and it is not as bad as Dancing with the Stars.
Well,
I would never do that to you.
I don't know about that.
I think that it was okay.
Dancing with the
let's talk about
Stars, and don't punch me for saying this. I'm just stating the obvious. The people are prettier.
Okay,
They are way prettier
than this particular
than what I had
series.
to go through. Yes.
Okay.
This series is on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And it is called Clickbait. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Clickbait is, a lot of websites use it. If you've ever seen like a story where it's like Britney Spears loses control and shoots 18 people, and you're like, what? And you click it, and or it'll say fantasy football, like this is going on right now too. It'll say tight ends to stay away from, and you're like, whoa, okay, you click it. And then before you even get anywhere else, you got to click another thing. And it's usually like an arrow, like click the next one. Then you click the next one. It's like in at number 50. And you're like, oh, I want to see the top 10. And it doesn't just give you a list. Then you got to click again. And you scroll down, you got to click again. That's clickbait. And those websites, they sell those to advertisers and go, hey, look how many hits we get. Mm-hmm. Look how many click-throughs we get. Well, yeah, but nobody's really interested in the ads, but that is an example of clickbait. So the show is called Clickbait. The title, I guess, it's more of a video thing where if they get 5 million views, then the guy who's kidnapped dies.
Well, you sold me on it when you said it was the guy from Entourage. Mm-hmm. That was the selling point for me.
It was his name, Vince.
In that series,
yeah.
I don't even, what is his real name?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
That guy.
But I liked him in that.
Yeah, he was good. So, he's in it, but he's not in it.
Yeah, but like his picture is plastered all over, like why you'd watch it.
Yeah, and then they just keep running the 5-second video that has him held hostage or whatever. Mm-hmm. So...
Don't spoil it. You can't spoil it.
And we will. I'm going to go back and spoil something. If you have a chance to watch the movie Pig, he doesn't get his pig back. The movie's horrible, and I just saved you $6. So feel free to donate that $6. 217recovery.com/donate.
That one, I do not feel bad that you ruined the ending because it is a terrible, terrible movie.
A waste of time.
This series, Clickbait, on the other hand, is very entertaining. And I will say that I did actually do like the marathon watch of it, and that kind of did drag you along with it. So for that, I do admit my part in that.
Okay, well, let's clear the air here and just go ahead and, well, before we get into the review of it, let's grade it.
Okay.
You want to do 10 stars or 5?
We can do 10.
Okay, I give it 3 out of 10.
I'll give it 5.
Okay, because the way you were just talking, you were going to give it a 7 or 8.
No.
You said you really enjoyed it.
No, the reason why I'm giving it a 5 is because it was not that long.
Okay.
So, because I've started series and just given up on them because they're not entertaining enough.
Okay, and you watched the first, you recently discovered True Detective on HBO. Mm-hmm. What do you give that series as a whole? You've watched the first 2 seasons, but
8.
8, so that's way better than...
Because I like the twists and turns thing. That keeps me... In fact, I was about to give up on Clickbait until some stuff started making sense. And I was starting to get my premonitions about what was really going on were actually right.
Well, I'll go back to Clickbait here. My first observation was everybody is ugly. This is the ugliest cast. And I felt bad for even thinking this. Like, this is like something I shouldn't be thinking, but everybody's ugly. You know, maybe not the dude from Entourage, but he's not really in it. It's just a little video that they did. But none of it makes sense. He's like Italian looking. His sister is straight up white. What did you say? Straight from Poland or something,
yeah.
or Russia,
yeah.
Or maybe I said Russia. But yeah, she's straight up white as could be. And they had the same father, mother, everything. So that's a little hard to believe. Everybody, like I said, is just ugly. Everybody is ugly. Everybody has stupid ass haircuts. And the acting is horrible.
I don't think that the ugly thing is a very nice thing to say.
It's not. And I said it wasn't nice, but it's true. It's honest. It's that honest thing that's what really connects me with people who listen to the podcast.
Man.
And because you are
it's
just
being honest. They want to hear that. They don't want to hear no BS.
You're painfully honest.
Go watch Pig. It's a great movie. See, if I said that, then they watch Pig. They would just never, ever believe anything that ever came out of my mouth. Mm-hmm. So when they watch Clickbait, they'll be like, Corey's right. Everybody in here is ugly. And that's not nice to say. But we understand that's not nice to say.
I would say in the spectrum of Hollywood stars, this is not the most attractive cast I've seen. That's what I will say.
Do you think that the people who did the hair and makeup are going to win any awards?
No. Mm-mm. Probably not.
Nope. Is that a better way to word it?
Yeah.
But that's not really saying that the features of the faces of the people in this show are not pleasant to the eyes. Mm-hmm. Maybe they are for some people. Maybe some people like that stuff. But anywho, all right, that was my first observation. Then the brother thing and not making any sense and just pretty bad acting. And it was rough.
Yeah.
It was a rough go. And it was about cheating and lying and deceiving. And what you think is going to be true isn't true, and this and that. And it was they were reaching a lot of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of reaching going on. And okay, the guy gets kidnapped in a van, and they're going to teach him a lesson and put it on the internet. Everybody's going to know what a scumbag he is. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want the police to come find you? I don't know.
Yeah, there were
maybe I give it a 2 out of 10.
There were pieces of it that were just really way too far. Yeah, they went way too far with it. But the fact that I think a lot of people like to watch things like that because, I mean, if you would have put a movie on like that or a series on like that 15 years ago, people would like be so confused because that stuff wasn't a real thing. This is using like Photoshop and like voice alteration, you know, the whodunit. Mm. But anyway,
that was probably going on 15 years ago.
Not not to this extent.
Maybe. There's a little catfishing going on. I think that's been going on for a long time. You remember when people used to take out personals in the newspaper? Wasn't it a newspaper people could take out personals?
Yeah, singles ads.
Like, hey, what's up? You like what, write that person? I've never answered one of those.
Yeah.
We should go back to those days.
That's how my mom met her second husband.
Really? Personal ad?
Yeah.
Like, hey, looking for somebody?
In the Ann Arbor News.
Oh. Huh. Wonder if that's a better way. I mean, what do you just become pen pals first?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, because they couldn't, like, hey, what's your address? Or do they just send it to the newspaper? The newspaper has to deal with it? That'd be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, you can ask my...
Because you wouldn't be like, here's my address. Send me a note.
You, like, meet to go, like...
Send me a D pic.
I think they ended up meeting to, like, go biking or something.
Man, kids nowadays wouldn't know what to do. There was life before the internet?
Right?
Mm-hmm. Sure enough.
Anyway, I enjoyed it. I'm sure. I think it's got... What kind of reviews has it gotten so far? Not from us.
Well, it's got a 2 out of 10 from me.
That's what I said, not from
And
us.
it's got a 5. Oh. I don't know. Didn't really look into that. Because sometimes when you base your movies off what the reviews say, that you're not listening to this podcast because we're straight on with them, it can be confusing. Because especially with like anything on Amazon Prime blows my mind because it'll say 4 out of 5 or something, and then it'll be on IMDb and then this and that, and it's all... It just gets really confusing. And then you turn it on and it's something that somebody filmed with their phone. And go, how in the hell? What? I don't know. Like that one 217 movie was pretty good, actually. But it wasn't called 217. It was, I can't remember the name of it. But we did a podcast about it like last fall.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It was only like 15 minutes long, too. Mm-hmm. It was about addiction. They were in room 217. The guy was in the hotel. That was a good movie. Good little short film.
Now we're going to have to find out the name of it again.
I don't know. I'm making a short film.
Oh.
Yeah, it's for a Sony grant.
That's right.
But I'm kind of torn on what to do it on because I'm very passionate about a lot of different things. And I just don't know if I should do it on somebody else or if I should just do it on myself. You know, and the things that I'm trying to do with 217 recovery, you know, it probably makes sense I would do that, but then there's other issues. I don't know. I went and recorded a bunch of stuff the other day, and then the audio was so bad, I'm just like, I can't even use any of that. But I got many months to put it together, and I think that's what I should do is just be patient, take my time, and put something together that I would feel proud to present to Sony.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because if you win that, then they'll make like a short little movie with you or something, which I think would be very cool. Clickbait 2.
Right.
No, it wouldn't be like that. It would be like a documentary probably, but it's interesting. I should do a short film about me starting up my coffee company.
You can do that.
And take it to the board meeting, have like the videos recording the board meeting when you guys start laughing at me when I'm bringing it to the table. Like, I think 217 should have some coffee. And you guys are like, and I'm like, fine, I'll do it on my own. I'm going to have a coffee company. How hard can it be?
That's not what happened.
It was damn close. Maybe I wasn't crying like that, but.
No, I think it's a great idea. You got to put it together.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I talked to my therapist yesterday for a minute. Actually, it was for like 47 minutes, but she had to help her out a little bit, you know.
You have to help out your therapist?
Yeah, a little bit. Because she was not worried about her son, but her son, he had like a year in March.
clean. Mm-hmm. And this last week, I went to a wedding. It was over. Mm. And I've heard that a lot about weddings and holidays. Fortunately for me, my younger brother's wedding I was pretty hardcore in recovery at that time. I did relapse soon after, but at least for the wedding, I was sober. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad I wasn't that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, whew, I'm so glad. Mm-hmm. I would not want to be that guy at my little brother's wedding. So I wasn't. So that was very cool. But I heard weddings, holidays. And I mean, if you want to talk about weddings, we can. I know you have a story, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I was because I always just start talking and don't let you talk. So I figured I would share the floor with you here.
Oh, that's good.
All right. So, he had planned it though. And the wife said, yeah, it's okay. You've been good. You can go ahead. Drink. I just was like, whoa. And she's like, yeah, I know.
It was his wedding?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're friends.
Okay.
But
still, but
yeah, she's like,
I was thinking, wow.
You've been good this whole time. Just go out and drink. You can go drink. She was there. Yeah. He was like, I only had 10 beers. Plus whatever was in his pocket and what people around him were, hey man, swig this.
Oh no.
Yeah, my thing was like, you think this was the first time, you know? She's like, yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I mean, I've planned them before, months in advance. So it is possible to hold off. You planned it 2 years in advance, probably.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people on drug court, when they're on drug court, then they're not taking it serious. They're not understanding that you're not losing anything. You know, embrace this new life without alcohol, without drugs, and live life. But they still think, I can still drink, and boom, second they get off drug court, right to the liquor store, and right back to misery lane. But so planning the relapse, and then, you know, they say co-signing on your BS, you know, the other people in his life, you know, just co-signing it. Like, yeah, you know, you've been good. Go ahead and drink. What? I had somebody like that in my life once. Oh, I want to drink with you. And I was like, but I have a problem. I can't stop. See, I take a drink. I cannot stop. And then 3 days later, I'm in rehab again.
Wow.
So it's very dangerous. And not everybody understands addiction. You know, some people think, oh, you know, you haven't had ice cream for 3 months, go ahead and have some. Yeah, probably a little different. You know, because unless when that ice cream hits their lips, they can't stop eating ice cream, then you probably wouldn't say that to them. So just, it's very, very tricky. You know, I know a lot of people that listen to the podcast are listening for other people, you know. They have family members or friends that have a problem, and they say listening to us talk about it really helps them a lot. But that's one thing I would say is don't ever, obviously, I mean, you would say obviously, but sometimes you can get talked into, well, yeah, and you are a little crazier in bed when you're drinking. So, you know, let's just do it this night. No, because then once you get that taste again, it's like we're vampires, you know. Mm-hmm. So we got to have more. And then we will start hiding it. And, you know, it'll be next weekend. And even, hey, I drank last week, you know, at the wedding. I wasn't that bad, was I? And I did that stuff that you like in bed. So I'll just drink tonight. You'll start making excuses. And then if the wife or whoever is like, no, it's not, no, how about we just don't? Okay, I won't. And then resentment start. Hey, I'm just going to go to the store real quick. I forgot we need the popcorn. Or they'll be real extra nice. Oh, I'm gonna make you something real great for dinner tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the store real quick. And then I don't know. That's how I would do it. Mm-hmm. You know, or probably have done it. I don't know. But you start.
These are good things to know.
Yeah, you start.
I'm just kidding.
No, you start making those excuses to get away and to hide it. And once you, like I said, once you get that taste though, and nothing bad happened, you don't remember the misery you caused a year ago. You know, that's easily forgotten when you're focused on that. I want that buzz again. So just be careful.
Yeah,
Be careful.
sure.
Careful.
You just need to be honest about it all. I mean, for
hard.
for the decision making of like, I mean, it's almost like when you're telling yourself those lies, like it'll only be this one time. Because I've done that. Is that you know inside that that's not what it's going to be. You just know it. But once you start entertaining the idea and then literally mentally making it into a reality, it's like you've realized before it even happened.
No, you say telling yourself that it's okay. It made me think of something. I don't ever think it was me that was telling me to do it.
Like, you mean other people?
No, I mean, like, if there's a good and a bad devil, seriously, like on your shoulder, like, whoa, that was creepy. As I said that, the light in the studio flickered.
Yeah.
For no effing reason. What's up, Jesus? Hi.
Yep.
How you doing?
Wow, that
Thanks
was
for
really weird.
coming by today. Yeah, light that never does that.
Never.
There's no reason for that too.
No.
Huh. So I'm onto something.
I guess so.
All right. So, wow. Where's my sound? I need a sound effect or something now. Jesus, not that one. No.
There you go.
Yes. Jesus
That's more
is
like
here.
it.
Okay. So, yeah. So it's like there's somebody else telling me that to do it. And I'm not trying to say like schizophrenic or I'm hearing voices or anything like that, but just like, it's not ever me. And maybe that's something that our brain does or that we do to make it feel like it's not our fault, even though we know it's our fault. But I just don't think it's ever like, it's never just me going, yeah, Corey, let's go do that. You know, it's always like I don't even know how to
No,
explain
it's like
it.
when your train of thought starts going in a direction that is unhealthy and you know, it becomes morphed into this like sounds like not such a bad idea when you know it really is a bad idea. And then you start forgetting the places it can take you to. The awfulness and sadness and destruction.
Or that point where I'm cool with, well, you know, this is going to lay you up for 5 to 7 days. You're really willing to trade that out, you know, for a night of not even fun.
Right.
Like where did I go wrong? Where did I think that was a great idea? You know, I wouldn't trade that now for sure. But there was many times I did. And I don't know if it was just the despair, the hopelessness, the purpose that I didn't have, lack of purpose, lack of hope. There's a lot of that had to do with it, you know, and a lot of that is dealing with mental health and depression and stuff like that, you know, that will get a person to that point where whatever, you know, maybe this time I will drink myself to death. And that's too bad. And that's sad. And at the same time, it doesn't have to be the end. You know, I pulled through, you pulled out of it, you pulled through. You know, I know a lot of people that have pulled through. Our friend Justin, Tyrone, just to name a few, Eric. You know, these are people that I know, that Laura, they've all pulled through and are doing well. So you might not get it right the first time, second time, third time, but if you can keep going with it, man, just know I was talking to this kid the other day and he went to stream it for the first time. He felt very uncomfortable. I guess there was some stuff being passed around in there and he just was like, I can't be around that. And so he left or whatever, but he was telling me that he was doing it for different reasons. you know, and that was cool. That was okay. But what I kind of tried to hit home to him the most was that he needed to just want to do new life. You know, like forget those friends that you thought were your friends. Forget all of that stuff that you had in the past. You know, he's saying he just had a daughter born in July, so a month and a few weeks old.
Wow.
And that's a good reason to want to change, but to get deep down into it, he's got to really embrace that change and embrace this new life as a father.
Yeah.
You know, and put all that old stuff behind him. And he doesn't have to live in the past. He doesn't have to be that same old person. You know, he can carve out a brand new life for himself. Mm-hmm. You know, he's very, very young. So hopefully, you know, he does. And he's the only one that can determine that. So
true.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's where I was going with that story, but that's where it ended. So
okay.
Thank you. All right. Well, I did post the event on the 18th of September of this month, 18th of this month.
Yeah.
That we're going to be at. The flyers on our website, 217recovery.com/events. There's also a link to it on our app, which is in the App Store. Just search 217 Recovery. And you can, I don't think I've even announced this yet. And maybe I did. You can listen to every single podcast we've ever done on our app.
That's amazing.
Yes. You either go to the podcast archive, I think from the media or Connect or whatever, or you just hit the little podcast button and it brings up all the podcasts, like 217 Recovery Podcasts, and it'll say 2020, 2019, and then your replay stuff is there. And then the guests, I kind of separated the categories. Now you can find them in the normal, like 2020, 2019, this year. And then, but if you just want to go to the guests one.
So you could actually listen to them in order or go through the separate into the sections.
Yeah. Like if you listen to this year's, it's from, well, it would be this latest episode going backwards. But if you listen to the other ones, it's December 31st, and then you scroll and it goes back through November, October, like that way.
Okay.
So it's a little reverse there, but yeah, they're all there.
That's awesome. Good
Everyone.
job.
Well, there's a couple I left off because I don't know. I just didn't like the people that was on, or they sucked or something. But most of them are there. I think there's only like 2 that I left off.
Okay.
Or they were irrelevant.
Gotcha.
And some people have passed on, which is kind of sad. But it was interesting, though, going back and playing those. Like, it brought me back to, like, those exact times of when we were doing those podcasts. Like, it was crazy. I was traveling back in time. This is my time machine, man. It was pretty cool, though. But, yeah, check them out. Listen. Find your favorites. And if you have a favorite, or if you listen to one that you really took something from, like when we were talking about this time last year about watching out for black bears because they will kill you. And this is the time of year, or maybe it was grizzlies. Oh, I need to go back and listen to that one. It's bear season. They will kill you. Like if that's one you're like, man, Corey, that one really hit home for me. Let us know. And we'll feature that on Marty's Sunday Night Replay.
The black bear. I'm trying to remember the black bear.
Because we watched that movie and then like it just happened to be like around the time of like bear season because people are out still out camping and it's like the bears are getting ready for hibernation and ready for food and they eat people. And we watched that one movie that was a real story where it ate that guy and ripped him from the tent, ripped his leg off, then pooped down his head or neck or whatever. It was bad. It was vicious. And the lady was like running and she got help or something.
Was it based on true story?
Yes, babe.
I don't remember.
You're sitting across from me, but you're not listening.
I am listening. I just don't.
I said it was based on a true story. And then we looked it up and it turned out like the August and September was like when bears will eat you the most. Anyway.
I vaguely remember that.
Anyway, if that's an episode that really hits home to you, it doesn't hit home to Marnie at all, then let us know, like I said, and we'll feature it. But no, anything that you come across that does help you, we do hope that there's something that does help. And, from time to time, some podcasts are a little different. But let us know. We'll feature it.
Yeah.
Give you a shout out on... Oh, damn, it is shout out Thursday, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. I'll let you go first since I'm not playing the little sounder thing.
Okay. I'm going to shout out to Rachel. I hope she's having a great time on her first sober camping trip. And we had a long discussion about that together because she was really excited, but also kind of like, I don't want to say the word anxious. Just very aware and like mindful. Like, this is her first experience going camping, which is something she used to do all the time, under the influence. So, and we all are going to have those in early recovery. So, she's really excited and did a lot of planning for it. And so I hope she has a good time. And shout out to Devin as well. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Nancy. Shout out to Janelle. And shout out to Jen.
Nice. I'm going to shout out to Paul. Paul recently got a shirt from us.
Nice.
And he was like, hey, I want some more. I was like, of course you do. It's like, how much are they? I don't know. But yeah, Paul, thanks for the support, man. We appreciate that. Also, a shout out to Eric, who I mentioned earlier. And my boy Jason Vaughter, we're beefing.
Uh-oh.
Michigan game coming up. And I'm so tired of Harbaugh. And I came across the Facebook post I did like 3-4 years ago. And I was like, I've been telling you people, Harbaugh's overrated. And then Jason was like, well, if you look at the stats, like Michigan, they've won every game that they've ever been favored in, almost, except for a couple. I'm like, well, then you can't say all games. And he's like, and they've lost the ones that they're underdogs in. I'm like, why are they underdogs in them? If Jim Harbaugh's so great, they shouldn't be underdogs. And my point is, Jim Harbaugh sucks. And it's not that he sucks. I just want to see some passion on the sideline. I don't see nothing from that guy. I see nothing. So we're beefing over that.
Okay.
He doesn't know it, but we're beefing, Jason. Plus, I want to beat him in fantasy football.
That's the real reason.
Maybe. Nah, I just create beef. Nah, I'm not really beefing, but yeah, shout out to Jason. He's a big supporter of the show, and he's doing it, man. He's doing his thing in Lansing.
Awesome.
A guy who owns a limousine company, like around people partying all the time.
Right.
And he's sober, 6.5 years, so.
That's sweet.
I know. I like Jason. But anyway, I think that does it for tonight, though. Appreciate you listening. 217recovery.com for all your resources, all you need. Sign up to win a free shirt, and we'll talk to you on Saturday.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.